Good evening, my friends. This is Paul, and today I'm going to be reviewing to you Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. Yes, you heard it correctly. Charles Martinet didn't shout Deluxe during his intro screaming for naming the name of the game, and that's because the Deluxe moniker is more or less referring to the battle mode. While there are some interesting quality of life changes here and there to be found elsewhere, they're not gonna make it so that the Wii U version needs to go in the trash, because I still have Mario Kart 8 on my Wii U, and I would still prefer to play it over this deluxe port. But let's talk about it for the rest of you that maybe you haven't bought a Wii U, or maybe you haven't bought Mario Kart 8. I find that hard to believe, but let's talk about it anyway. So first of all, let's say you haven't bought Mario Kart 8 in any form, Switch or Wii U. Well, you're looking at possibly the most gorgeous game Nintendo has ever put out. Like, seriously, when Nintendo announced, ever since the days of the Wii, that the time of graphical horsepower is over and the time of innovation is here, I think they forgot Mario Kart 8 in that list, as this game could rival the likes of the platforms that came out at that time of year, as the lighting, shadowing, animation, everything is just so top tier, and even modern Switch games can't keep up with this fairly early Wii U title. Also, the music is fantastic as well, receiving the first big band treatment in the Mario Kart series. There's a lot of trumpets and saxophones, and I really like how the DLC of Mario Kart even started introducing other franchises besides just Mario games. So you've got a Zelda track, 2 F-Zero tracks, Mercedes-Benz cars, Animal Crossing, Excitebike. It really felt like a true Nintendo Kart crossover that made it rival with the likes of Smash Brothers. And some of these graphical renditions of the other franchises, not only do they make actually newer games in their respective franchises look ugly by comparison, like seriously, can you even imagine if New Horizons looked this good? But they also did a good job of keeping the mechanics of the original game intact for the track design. In Animal Crossing, the seasons still change, and it's still a fairly laid-back track. The F-Zero tracks don't have any coins laid out, but instead you refill your coins with the energy meters that were used in the original F-Zero games. Excitebike tracks have a lot of cheering crowds and ramps that cause your character to go barreling in the sky like they did in Mario Kart Wii. And overall, it just feels like you're playing the same game, but in a Mario Kart setting, and only Smash Brothers has even come close to this level of fan service and dedication. As far as the rest of the game, Mario Kart 8 is definitely one of the most touched up games in the Mario Kart series. Obviously, everyone is going to have their preferences, as each Mario Kart game feels drastically different than the last, as they have different physics, different game design, different gimmicks. But I would like to think that Mario Kart 8 has the best of all of the worlds, as it's refined the controls, it's narrowed down the selection of items and level design to offer perhaps the most accessible and cohesive package of the bunch. While it may be missing certain notable features, such as the mission mode from Mario Kart DS, doing wheelies on a bike, and Mario Kart Wii, honestly, I don't really miss that too much. It might also miss Block Fort from Mario Kart 64 and the character-specific items from Double Dash, but what it brings instead is, first of all, these amazing graphics and music, and second of all, it brings back the underwater and hang gliding sections from Mario Kart 7, kart customization also from Mario Kart 7, and anti-gravity. Now, the anti-gravity sections, when I first heard about this back when the original Wii U version was announced, I was a little bit scared, as I thought, oh dear, that's going to make Mario Kart racing a headache. However, I'm glad to report that the anti-gravity really doesn't affect the race all that much, aside from some really cool visual tricks. Half the time, I didn't even realize that I was upside down or sideways, and it wouldn't really be until I watched the replays that allowed you to change the camera angle that I realized, whoa, I was on the ceiling the whole time? And the camera does a good job of keeping up with where you are in relativity to the space, so that you always feel like you're on the ground, even when you're doing a turn fight. It's also neat how when you're in an anti-gravity section, the wheels turn sideways so that the cart or bike handles a little bit differently, and if you bump into the other racers, rather than getting slowed down, you'll actually get a speed boost. So in other words, it completely changes the way that you play the game. Now as far as items, this is easily one of the weakest parts of Mario Kart 8, as the item selection is okay, but it misses all of the character-specific traits from Mario Kart Double Dash. And while it gets rid of the stupid items from Mario Kart Wii, the balance at which the items are flung at you is less than perfect. Now, admittedly, it's come a long way from how it was in games past. It takes a lot less time to recover from a spiny shell attack, for example. And also the item selection of when you get an ultra-powerful item seems a lot more balanced. That being said, there were several occasions where I was in first place for a good majority of the race, then a whole barrage of spiny shells, bullet bills, and shells would hit me, and I would end up coming in 5th place when I was mere feet away from the finish line. This kind of stuff happens so much that you can't even say it was just, oh Paul, you just had dumb luck, as a lot of people have been even harsher on the item system than me. However, I do think it's a good way of easing newcomers into the Mario Kart experience, as it allows for someone who's in 11th place to be able to stand a fighting chance against people who might have been playing Mario Kart since they were in diapers, as opposed to maybe the new age of kids that are just getting into Mario Kart with this most recent entry. As far as how the Deluxe version comes along, it adds a couple of new characters, but you'll be disappointed to know that the only truly new characters are the Inklings, as all of the other, quote, new additions are actually just characters that were already in previous Mario Kart games that were cut for some reason. There's also only one unlockable new character in 8 Deluxe, and that person is extremely underwhelming, as, spoiler alert, it's just a skin for an existing character, and you'll probably feel a great sense of letdown if you decide to be a completionist. So I highly recommend you just stop and don't try to do anything. Deluxe also adds a couple of accessibility options, which include auto steering, auto accelerate, and tilt turning. Now, tilt turning is nothing new. That's been around since the Wii U days. But auto acceleration is such a welcome feature, because one of the things I really didn't like about the Mario Kart games is that you would constantly be holding down the gas button. And that got to be a little bit tiring on your thumbs, especially when you were trying to multitask with all the other buttons. With auto accelerate, you don't have to touch the A button like at all, unless you want to get the rocket start when the Lakitu is doing the 3, 2, 1, go, as I assume it's supposed to sound. And so this allowed for a much more comfortable playing experience, and it didn't make me hate the Joy-Cons nearly as much as I usually do when I play these games. Now, I'm the type of guy that normally, if I'm playing a Wii U to Switch conversion, I will always say that I would prefer to keep the Wii U version so that I can play on the gamepad. And this still holds true. But I think that the auto acceleration is a good compromise that makes it so that the Joy-Cons are slightly more bearable. And maybe I'll pick this game up every now and then just because of that convenience alone. The smart steering, on the other hand, is much more of a severe handicap if you really can't play Mario Kart. But I think the real reason it was implemented was because 200cc was included from the start rather than being a free update in the original Mario Kart 8. See, none of the courses were actually designed with 200cc in mind, so it's really easy to fall off the course because your default speed is just so fast, and if you get a mushroom or a star, good luck trying to maintain a semblance of good control. However, with smart steering, even if you try, it will be impossible for your character to run off the edge. You can even literally blast yourself with a mushroom toward the edge, and the cart will steer away from it. So I think if you're going to play 200cc, it's a really good option to have. You can also turn on smart steering and smart accelerating if you want to play the race for you, but this isn't necessarily going to guarantee that you're going to win the race, because it's not going to manage items for you, it's not going to drift, and it's not going to guard against enemy attacks. So you really want to use caution. That being said, just because smart steering is on does not mean that you won't have any control of your cart. You will still be able to pick it up and start steering on your own Mainly, it's just there to prevent you from falling off the edge. That's the only thing where you won't be in control. But if you're thinking, oh no, it's Nintendo Super Guide, it really isn't. So don't feel like you have to have a panic attack over that. Besides, you can always turn the options off if you want to play as a Mario Kart purist. There's also a couple of, quote, new items, but again, these are just rehashed from previous games in the Mario Kart series. The feather returns for the first time since Super Mario Kart, but that only appears in the battle mode, which we'll discuss later. And then the boo returns after constantly switching on and off whether it wanted to be in a Mario Kart game or not, which allows you to turn invisible as well as steal an item from another character. Then you've got all of the regular items from Mario Kart 8, which for the most part are pretty decent. I really like the Piranha Plant as it gives you speed boosts and it also eats any opponents or obstacles in your way. The Crazy 8 is a good way for people in last place to really just let their opponents have it for leaving them in the dust. And the coins, I actually didn't mind them too much in the original game, but now that 8 Deluxe lets you hold 2 items instead of just 1, it seemed like the coins appeared more frequently and took up a precious item slot now that I had 2. You can also get double item boxes, which return for the first time since Mario Kart Double Dash. But again, due to the lack of character-specific items, they don't feel nearly as rewarding to get as they used to in that GameCube game. Now, I personally feel like the controls have been absolutely perfected in 8 Deluxe, and the little quality of life touches make it the perfect way of jumping into Mario Kart. Lakitu is really quick at recovering you from the stage. Overall, your character gets back up and running much quicker than they did if they slipped on a banana peel in the past. You don't really spin out of control if you try to turn your cart too much, which, believe me, I did. When you're playing with the Joy-Cons, you have to constantly correct your turns. And overall, I felt like there was not a single time in the game where I felt frustrating, with the exceptions being when I had to hold out a defensive item behind me to block incoming attacks, which kind of hurt my fingers after a while. I don't know if Mario Kart's ever going to fix that, but at least the auto acceleration option fixes the always holding down the A button. Also, Mario Kart 8 purists will be either glad or furious to know that all of the content from Mario Kart 8 is 100% back. You've got all of the original tracks, plus all of the tracks added with DLC, plus all of the updates that the game brought. So Amiibo support is all back, with an additional costume that allows you to get an Inkling themed outfit, the Mercedes cars, the Blue Falcon, 200cc, all of it is here. However, this will bring about a dilemma to people that are playing this single player only and either don't have Switch Online or don't have another person to play it with, as 8 Deluxe isn't really the kind of game with a lot of unlockables. Now, this could be nodding back to Mario Kart 64, because the only thing you could unlock in that game were either ghost datas and the mirror mode and a new title screen. This has at least a little bit more to unlock, as you can still unlock the cart parts, and a lot of the cart parts that you unlock are stuff that you originally either paid for or got via a free update, like the Mercedes stuff and the Zelda cart parts. However, I don't think that's enough of an incentive to keep playing this, as, again, you have all of the tracks readily available from the start, and so this is good for if you want to play multiplayer. And especially if you've grinded thousands of hours on the Wii U version, it's like, I don't want to get all that stuff over again. But on the other hand, if you're going into this thinking, oh good, another meaty Mario Kart experience, well, you'll certainly have fun. I had a blast every second while playing this, but you probably won't have a blast if you're a completionist trying to grab every little thing. At most, there's that secret character I mentioned, but again, it's just an alternate skin and isn't a full new character per se, so take of it what you will. I've heard that completionists are impossible to reason with, so I tried. Now, since you're seeing battle mode footage, I feel like this is a good segue into talking about the one area where the Wii U version is arguably by far the inferior version. Now, in the original Mario Kart 8, you would have existing race tracks that would be converted into balloon battle tracks, and since they weren't designed with that in mind, it was often an exercise in frustration and no one liked it, either the critics or the fans. So that was clearly where most of the budget went in this 8 Deluxe port, as this is a complete reimagining. Even the graphics screen, where it gives you a little bit of a preview, has been completely different from the Wii U original. There are 8 tracks overall, well I guess arenas is a more proper word. Most of them are new, but there are 3 retro tracks that are included here, sadly not Blockport. And you can even play an Urchin Underpass from the Splatoon games, which is really cool because the 2 Inklings were the 2 new characters that were added to the Deluxe port. All of these arenas feel really good, and I don't really have any complaints against any of them. It brings an excuse for Mario Kart 8 to have even more of its amazing music, and the Luigi's Mansion track in particular, actually rather than remixing the original Luigi's Mansion track from Mario Kart Double Dash, actually uses the Luigi's Mansion track from Mario Kart DS, which is really amazing because that was actually one of the songs in that game that was actually good. Now, in addition to the standard balloon battle, several modes, both new and old from the Mario Kart series, appear here. You've got coin runners, where you try to see who can hold the most coins, but you also slow down the more coins you hold at once. Then there's Shine Thief, where a shine sprite appears on the stage, looking even prettier than it does in Super Mario 3D All-Stars. And you have to see if you can hold on to it the longest, as whoever holds the shine sprite for a predetermined amount of time is the winner. Then there's Renegade Roundup, which is a brand new mode where half of the players are cops and the others are robbers. The cops' job is to get all of the robbers in a cage at once, and they do this by having Piranha Plants attached to their front so that they can literally eat the players and barf them out into a cage. Then the other players, while they're outside of the cage, their job is to try to find the switch to free their other teammates. However, if all of the outlaws are in the cage at once, they will lose and the renegades will win. Finally, there's Bob-omb Blast, which is where the only items you'll get from item boxes are Bob-ombs, and depending on how long you hold the item button before you throw it, this will determine how far you throw the Bob-omb. This was the mode that I found the least enjoyable, mainly just because it was hard to tell how far I was aiming the Bob-ombs, and also because Bob-ombs is my least favorite item in Mario Kart. However, this did bring up an interesting possibility of what they could do if there's ever another Mario Kart title, and that's adjust the way the Bob-ombs work so that they don't hurt the player, they hurt your opponents, because the color of the Bob-omb changes so that it reflects like, okay, this person's on my team, so I don't have to worry about the bomb hitting them. But that doesn't happen in the regular versus matches on the tracks. So I feel like if they were going to put all this effort into the battle mode, why wouldn't they have taken that into consideration for the main game as well? Also, the feather returns in this arena, and it really is useful for jumping over a lot of barriers that appear or for dodging an enemy's attack. It would have been nice if maybe they had included this in the regular mode, as that would have made for some really insanely cool strategies, but I'm still glad that the feather is here nonetheless, as it doesn't deserve to be forgotten in by far the worst Mario Kart title. Now, if you're looking for brand new content outside of the battle mode, and if you're thinking, oh, Paul, what else is there to offer? I don't like battle mode. Well, I'm afraid to say that not really much. There is an online mode, which was free on the Wii U version, but now you have to pay for it on the Switch. That being said, it worked great, and I actually won one of the matches I was in, when I was regional that is. When I played worldwide, the most I could come in was second place, and I always lost to the Japanese people. Meme that as much as you guys want. It worked well. I did get an error message at first when I tried to join a worldwide tournament, but as soon as I booted it up again, there wasn't any problems. But if you're looking for substantial new content, you're not going to find it here. There's no new racetracks, and the characters that were added are just characters that were already DLC in Mario Kart 8, or just the Inklings and characters that were already in other Mario Kart games, like Dry Bones from Mario Kart DS, Bowser Jr. from Mario Kart Double Dash, King Boo, also from Double Dash. You get the picture by now. Thankfully, with the update, they did add the ability to play as Champion Link, but again, that's a skin of an existing character, And if you have the Nintendo Labo vehicle cart, then you can use the steering wheel to control your cart. Now, I never bought the Labo kit, so I can't confirm how good this is, but I have heard that it's a pretty throwaway mode, and the game doesn't really do a whole lot to encourage you to play it. So, 8 Deluxe is a good game if you're a battle mode sucker and you thought that it disappointed in Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U. However, if you've already played the Wii U version to death and you have no objections to playing with the gamepad, then I would say you can safely skip 8 Deluxe without a second thought. However, if you've never played a Mario Kart game and you're looking for the definitive way to play, apart from the gamepad's extra comfortability, in my personal opinion, I do think 8 Deluxe is the definitive version, and you should definitely consider picking it out. It's not the Switch's current best-selling game for no reason. So with that, thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry if this went on too long, so if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or critiques, please let me know. And until the next time, keep the faith, stay epic, God bless, and let's hope we get a new Mario Kart game on the Switch that isn't just a VR experience. Bye!